Poštovani domaćini, studentice i studenti, evo izuzetna mi je čast imati priliku otvoriti ovu radionicu sa jednom vrlo, rekao bi, društveno osjetljivom i bitnom temom. Moje ime je, prije svega, kolegica Marijana Serdar, moje ime je Dalibor Carević, dolazimo iz Građevinskog fakulteta i na ovaj način otvaram ovu radionicu.
Okay, so now I will do it on English. Hello everybody, dear mayor, dear guests from Norway, dear guests from the local community, and dear students. We welcome you to this socially sensitive but very important topic, a workshop with the topic. We hope you will enjoy today's lectures and tomorrow's practical part of the workshop. We are from Faculty of Civil Engineering, Dalibor Carević and Marijana Serdar. Dalibor works at the Department of Hydrotechnical, so he's expert in the field of beaches and sea structures, maritime structures. And I work at the Department of Materials, so my field of expertise is use of materials in construction engineering, especially sustainability of these materials. So that's why we, I think, are a good team to discuss this topic. We will today have a bit of a theoretical part, but then we move on to the practical part with students. Okay.
Kao što sam uvodno rekao, prije svega i zahvalio našim domaćinima, ovo je nama svakako velika prilika da nas, to što smo uopće ugošćeni ovdje i data nam je mogućnost da radimo, odnosno provodimo ovaj projekt u jednoj arhaičnoj, ali vrlo simboličnoj prostoriji koja je blizu ovoga što ste vidjeli jučer, ove tvornice koja je veliki problem za lokalnu zajednicu. U tom smislu bih pozvao načelnika Tončija Bauka da izrazi dobrodošlicu svima vama. Pa evo, Tonči, izvolite.
So we invite Mayor of the Dugi Rat, Mr. Tonči Bauk, and the important thing is that Tonči Bauk is a civil engineer by education, so he very well understands the challenges of this problem.
Uvaženi gosti iz Norveške, profesori iz Građevinskog fakulteta, studenti sa raznih fakulteta, srdačno vas pozdravljam ispred općine Dugi Rat. Drago mi je da je današnja tema Coastal Brownfield Remediation. Nadam se da će poučeni iskustvima Norveške naći rješenje za sanaciju područja bivše tvornice u Dugom Ratu. 12 godina traje naša borba s institucijama kako pokrenuti sanaciju. Ja vas ovim putem molim da pronađete konkretno rješenje kako bi mogli što prije pristupiti sanaciji. Lijepo se provedite na našoj predivnoj obali, a gostima želim ugodan boravak i sretan povratak u Norvešku. Pozdravljam vas s našom starom uzrečicom zdravi, veseli bili. Dear guests from Norway, honorable civil engineering professors and students, I wish you a warm welcome on behalf of the municipality Dugi Rat. I am very happy because Coastal Brownfield Remediation is again the topic of today's meeting. I also hope that on ground of your Norwegian experience, you will find a solution for the restoration of the former factory area in Dugi Rat. 12 years have we been fighting institutions to undertake the restoration, and I would like to use this opportunity to kindly ask you to find a concrete solution so we could start the restoration as soon as possible. I wish you a pleasant stay on your beautiful coast and a safe trip back home to Norway. Finally, I would like to greet you with our Croatian traditional saying zdravi I veseli bili. Hvala lijepa.
Also, now I would like to introduce our guest from Norway, or representative of our guest from Norway, Professor Lasse Berntsen. Lasse, please.
Thank you everyone for inviting us here. This is actually my second project here in Croatia. We did another project on coastal zone protection, where we transferred knowledge about how we do that in Norway, what rules we have, what legislation we have. And that was a project with Sunse, that is also a partner in this project. So this is why we were invited also for this project. And I'm very happy to have with me colleagues from Notodden municipality. And just to show you our university and our campuses, we have 8 campuses. And if you look at the red one, that is our Notodden campus. So actually we have this brownfield in our backyard, to put it that way. This was the reason why we selected Notodden as a case study here. We had 2, 3 not that different cases from here, but Notodden was the best one from our discovery. So our university is trying to be close to the people, to the labor market and social developments. This is the commercial. We are quite active in the international area. We have 4 different faculties with 20 different departments. That's just to give you some overview of the size. We have around 18,000 students in our university. And we are part of the business school, which is actually the largest business school in Norway at the moment, with 4,700 students. Our profile is, and this is the particularly important thing here, is that we are, in our strategy, we want to be part of sustainable development. And we want to contribute to sustainable development. This is why we engage in such projects as we have here. So, as it says here, we cannot solve every problem, but we can make a huge difference in some areas, regionally and nationally, and sometimes even globally as well. And that is why we are here in Dugi Rat. Because we think that together with our partners from Norway, we are able to show you at least some paths of cleaning up the brownfield here in Dugi Rat. So I think I stop there and say thank you.
Now Marijana and myself, we will say something about this project. Only short part of that, because the project is really dynamic. There is plenty of activity, and it is like I said, occupying our lives pretty much. The original name of the project is Ecosystem-Based Strategies for Remediation of Brownfield Sites in Coastal Area. Actually, we can shorten this brownfield remediation of brownfield sites. Actually, that's the real topic. It's not only oriented to coastal sites. It can be implemented in any site in Croatia, actually. Funding EA and Norway grants, they fund actually plenty of projects. This kind trying to forest actually connections between universities in Croatia and Norway, and also private companies. The fund is 100,000 and the duration is only 1 year. Partners, the 4 of us from the Faculty of Civil Engineering are here. I hope that you also already met some of them. University of South-Eastern Norway. Then we have Municipality of Dugi Rat, University of Zagreb Faculty of Science, and in the end, NGO Sunce from Split. Project goals were to strengthen cooperation between Croatian and Norwegian experts in the field of brownfield remediation, brownfield sites, and transfer of good practices from Norway to Croatia. The shortest as possible is written over here. The 6 activities in the period of 1 year we predicted in our project proposal. analyzes and summarizing national recommendations and practices in Croatia and in Norway. We found that in the Norwegian country they have pretty much, especially recommendations, not only legislations, which the engineers can use to orient themselves when they're solving this kind of problems. So we found one very interesting document. We do not have such like that. The name is Health-Based Categories of Polluted Area. That is translation from Norway in language. And we translate it with this money in the project and publish it on our site. I hope that this will help you in managing your tasks as students for tomorrow, and also engineers in the practice. This document will be used today in the presentations of our colleagues from Norway. Also, technical visit to Notodden, technical visit to NOA company. Unfortunately, we do not have guests from that company. We tried to get some of them here to explain you about their job, what they are doing, but they were so busy they couldn't come here. Technical visit in Dugi Rat, that was yesterday. We have the tour had. Workshop is this happening, and at the end we can say that all of these tasks we fulfilled, and at the end, until the middle of the next year, we have to write this final report. This will be a roadmap for Croatian society to develop their own recommendations, and I hope legislation in the field of brownfield remediation. One more slide is actually from our visit to Norway, which was very educative, let's say. We were in the NOA company. NOA company, one of their sites is this island. Actually, what they're doing, they collect the polluted soil from the Norway and all other countries and stabilize that in some chemical processes and deposit it in the bottom, in the holes of this island. Actually, these holes are remain of the old mining in Norway. So if you think that this is something very hazardous or not secure, they put plenty of shells around this island. They'll always measure the content of the body of that shells, trying to find if there is some kind of leakage or problem with the pollutions in the sea. Another visit was to Notodden. Here we can see our expert team at the site of the former factory, and behind you can see new flats. Actually, they're selling for, I don't know, 800,000 per flat. Nice prices, nice job. People will live here in this place, which was actually several years ago the place just like this behind this cinema. And let's say there was actually working visits. We had several meetings and discussions with the professionals from Norway. Okay, from now I will give floor to my colleague Marijana. Please, you can say something about our motivation.
I will tell you a bit how we came to the idea of applying this for this grant. So our reasoning was, okay, there is this 1-year project with Norway. In 1 year, you cannot do miracles, but what you can do is try to raise awareness on a topic and bring some knowledge to Croatia, which is the main aim of this type of calls. So we were thinking, okay, Croatia has so many industrial sites. Until now, some of them were remediated in potentially untransparent way. People don't have confidence in agencies or companies who are doing this. So let's use Norway as an example, where there is a lot of trust in agencies and governmental organizations, and let's use their example and show how they do it in their country, where there is a very big trust in people who are actually decision decision makers in this process. So because in Croatia, why is this field so interesting for Croatia is because we don't have guidelines, national guidelines. We don't have procedures that are established or voted by a majority of a big group of people. We don't have standards that are on European level accepted in Croatia. So this presents a very good field in which we could learn something from Norway. So when we look at some examples of remediation in Croatia, we can see that people don't feel that they trust how this remediation was done. They also don't feel safe around these areas. And what we experience in Notoden actually is that people do feel safe because they trust that people who made the decision did the best decision for their health. So that's why this document is called health-based decision-making. It's not profit-based decision-making, it's not local authority decision-making, it's health-based. So health is the priority in certain region. If you want to keep the people there and you want to actually do the best for the local community. So that's why Dugi Rat is a perfect example because there are so many things that are open now. First thing that is being discussed is the urban planning of this area that is not valid anymore. So there is a perfect opportunity to try to do something that is the best for the local community. And you met yesterday Miss Ivana, who talked very emotionally about her experience. So this is what we want you to feel, that these are people here. And we want to do something that is meaningful for the people who live actually here. So you experienced yesterday by yourself visiting this place, such a huge potential this place has. You have mountains that are around, you have all the greenery that is around, you have sea, so this place has a lot of potential. And actually, it is a potential that Croatia has as a country. So this is a perfect example how a place can represent what our country actually is in a European context. So a little about the history of Dugi Rat, but you heard yesterday from Ivana, there's been a long history of bad things that were happening here in a sense of pollution, but actually good things for the community because the factory was a reason why this region actually grew. And there were many people who were living here who were actually working in a factory. So if there was not industrial activity, this region wouldn't be inhabited with people. So it also means a lot culturally for people here. It's a sort of industrial heritage that this factory was here. So it shouldn't be neglected. It should be respected that it did lead to some prosper and development of the region. But at the same time, there were many substances that were left in the soil and in the environment that for which the community has mixed feelings, let's say, about the whole area. So what was our reasoning why we decided to take this approach in this project? Because we really strongly feel that we should follow the principle of polluter pays the price of remediation. We didn't want to use 1 year of project and money from Norway actually to do tests in this region. We didn't want to actually do some work in a sense that we as a faculty do the work of the polluter, because we don't think it's proper. We think what is proper is that we do the awareness and the knowledge, and then the polluter pays the price of this remediation, because it's a principle of European Commission and we should follow it. Is the polluter the person who did the problems on the site, health-based problems, should pay one way or the other, or if the country cannot force them to pay, then the state takes over and has to pay. And Norwegian colleagues were saying exactly that. There are many situations where the polluter doesn't exist anymore, but then it's the state that takes over because state protects rights of the people who live in this state. So we didn't want to use this 1 year and the money that was obtained from Norway and our collaboration. We wanted to use this money really to create a buzz about the topic, actually to make it discussed on a more transparent way. So that's why we took this approach where we said, okay, It's an entire ecosystem. The coastal area is an ecosystem of individuals like Ivana that you met yesterday, then the interconnection around these people, then the municipality and the policies and the entire state. So it's a big ecosystem that is involved here. And we said, okay, in this ecosystem, there is so many disciplines that should be represented. So the best way to represent all these disciplines is to take students, which are the future leaders in this field. So we wanted to invite different fields of students, of course civil engineers because this is our field, architects, we invited also people from chemical engineering, ecology, geology, we also invited students from sociology, philosophy, so different disciplines of students, and we wanted to bring you to teams and see how you would react with such a problem, how would you try to deal with it. So our reasoning was that the main activity of this project will be the service-based learning. And the service-based learning means that you are learning something, and hopefully you will feel that you learned something after these 2 days, but you're learning this on an example that is good for the community. So you are having all this experience of being taught something in an environment where you feel used or useful by the local community. So that is a concept of service-based learning. So you really try to use your engineering approaches or the knowledge that you have from school and from faculty to really help the community or to try to give your help or your part, your role in this problem. So I hope you like the approach that we took. I know that the local community is eager to get solutions. Your role today and tomorrow is really to think outside of the box. Don't be, you don't have to be worried about anything that you read in the news. You start your project thinking, okay, there is this land available. This is what are numbers that we find in official documents. And what would I, as somebody who is expert in a specific field in which I was educated, how would I approach this problem? And you will get a bit of theoretical knowledge from our guests here today, but we really want you to in your group, specific groups, discuss this in all different ways, and tomorrow propose some 10 minutes ideas that will be used for discussion. That's all. So with this, actually, I finished the presentation of the project, and we invite first of our guests. So as we said, we have a Norwegian guest with us today. Thanks to Professor Lasse, who actually connected us to the experts in Notodden. We have really opportunity firsthand to have an example how this, what you saw yesterday, can create it into something that is useful for the local community. So these are people, we have guests from Notodden region who are really representative of local authorities. So they will show us what they did and how they approach the problem, and then we have also guests from companies that do the tests on the site and do remediation plan, and you will have an example of polluter pays the price. So the investor is actually paying and listening to the to technical knowledge, to advices by technical people without complaint, because this investor is aware that it's his role to clean the area. So I will first invite Miss Janne from Notodden Authority. Her expertise, if I understood correctly, is connected to urban planning and permits in Notodden. So she will present you a bit of a history, so you can think of Notodden as Dugi Rat, but in Norway. So she will present you the history and how everything happened and how it looks today and what are the steps. So as an introduction. Jana, the floor is yours.